Hello, welcome to an overview of what SAP can do in terms of business analytics and getting full insight at any level in your management information and your operational information. If you look at the categorization of the products and the positioning of the products of SAP, then you will recognize three areas. One is the green area for managed dashboarding and managed reporting, managed dashboarding on strategic and tactical level with overviews and visual information, managed reporting for detailed information. The second area that I will show you is the self-service business intelligence, aimed at providing business users with very easy to use business intelligence software to quickly interact with their insights. Let's have a look at both areas. We will start with the green area with managed dashboarding. Later on we will proceed with managed reporting, also in the green area. And after that we will have a look at self-service business intelligence. All products that you will show are surrounded by a number of actors that are important. Anything you see is mobile ready and can be provided to any mobile device. We have very strong collaboration facilities within the business analytics suite where people can comment or work together on deploying and sharing business analytics products. Anything that you will see today is ready to be in a cloud, whether it's a public, an on-premise, or a combination, a hybrid cloud. And very important, anything that you see respects the principle of trusted data discovery, meaning that we have one single place to manage all metadata, authorities and securities of all products. Let's have a look. My name is Ivor van der Zand. I work for SAP Business Analytics. I am now logged on to the Business Analytics portal mentioned as the Launchpad, which gives you access to all documents, whether it's managed dashboarding, managed reporting, or self-service business intelligence. Let's open a managed dashboard. As you can see, trusted data discovery starts with every product. I have to log in, so the application understands who I am and what kind of data I can see. This is a managed dashboard for financial data, giving you an overview of two big areas being net revenue and total expenses. You see on the screens a number of tiles with the key performance indicators and with a threshold indicator whether the KPI is trending upwards or downwards. I can tick every tile, which brings me to a little bit more detail. If I hover the different graphs, I get metadata from the graphs. As you can see in managed dashboarding, I more or less digest or consume the information. I can set filters to specific products or a certain time period. And again, if I now tick the tile, I'll tick another one, profit and loss, which brings me to a little bit more detail. Within Managed Dashboard, you can also bring to the customer additional data, whether it's related to your website or documentation or whatsoever. I will quickly scroll you through the different tiles so that you have some idea of what we can do with Managed Dashboarding. Over here, for example, you see a geo-oriented tab, and if I tick one of the different tiles, you will see that the accompanying data is drilled down below myself on the screen. Yeah, so if I tick EMEA, you see over here the EMEA data. Again, Managed Dashboarding focuses on consuming the data. These dashboards are typically created centrally and distributed to the end users. I can have multiple graphs within one dashboard to give different views on the financial data in this example. This is the last step of the Managed Dashboard for Corporate Financial Overview, and over here is a little example of some interactivity that you can build in your dashboard. As you can see, I have a button over here mentioned Analysis, and if I tick it, it brings me to a more detailed view where I can export my data, but I can also more or less slice and dice. If I tick the panel button, I can change the type of data that are on my screen. And if I tick apply, you will see that I get another view that I can export again to CSV or to Excel. This is an overview of a managed dashboard. Let's now go to another managed dashboard where we have the integration to go to more detailed level of managed reporting. I've opened up another managed dashboard with another layout where you can see I can tick the different tabs for revenue or new account attrition. But very important on this one, I have a few filters over here that I can tick. Very important on this one, you see that I have a button over here mentioned as Webby Reports, which allows me to drill down to a managed report. So not a dashboard, but a report. It gives me more detail of the data that I see currently on the screen. If I tick the Webby report, over here you have Web Intelligence with the managed report linked to the dashboard that we recently saw. You will recognize this number of 4 billion euros, which is the actual number that you see over here. If I tick the revenue line, over here you will see the number. If I change the filter and tick the Webby report again, you will see that the dashboarding application parses the query to the Web Intelligence report, and you will see that now this number is also over here. I have within Web Intelligence I can have multi-tabs. Yeah, so over here you have two charts. I can go to a retail geo analysis. I can drill down if the report has drill down built in. As you can see over here, I have it. If I hover on Bedford, I can go to lower detail. If I take the design mode, I'm also able to create my own reports. Over here, I have an available objects tab, and I can easily, if I right click over here, add a report as an end user and just drag and drop the elements that I want to see on my report to create my first report. If I want to create a graph, I can easily do that. I tick the graph. Yeah, and over here is my graph. This is Web Intelligence. This is a product that allows for detailed reporting. It's pixel perfect. You can save to PDF, save to Excel. It's open to multi-source. Any source can be embedded over here. So there is a relationship between a managed dashboard on high level that gives strategic and tactical information, and you can make a relationship to a more detailed report that is that provides you with the more details of your dashboard. Let's now go to Self-Service Business Intelligence using SAP Lumira. Opposite to managed dashboarding and managed reporting, Self-Service BI is a little bit more open in terms of pattern of analyzing. One simply connects to a data source. It can be multiple data sources, so it could be Excel, TXT, a piece of the web, copy from clipboard. You can directly connect to HANA or make a download from HANA. Business Warehouse, if you use that. If you have a universe, you can connect to a universe. And very important, if you can query it with SQL code, you could connect to it with Lumira, meaning any database of any flavor, whether it's Oracle, Teradata, SQL Server, MS Access, whatsoever. Yeah, so you can, very important, you can connect to more than one source. So typical use cases that you pick up your data from your data warehouse, going via universe, and combine that with a little Excel that you, for example, got from a vendor that you want to compare the data with. I will open up a little bit of financial data to just give you an insight where I already imported two data sets and combined them together. And you will see the different metrics that I have on my top left hand side, actual, budget, forecast. I created two metrics myself, forecast accuracy and forecast delta, which is the difference between actual and forecast, and the relative difference between actual and forecast. And if I want to start analyzing, I just tick the visualize button, and I just tick the plus button, and I create a new analysis. So for example, I have off the shelf available a number of bar and column charts, also with two y-axis, line and area charts. There's different price and donuts. You can plot data on a geomap, scatters and bubbles. Heat and tree maps. Heat maps are very important to do white spot analysis. You can do pivots or cross tabs, numeric points if you want to highlight certain data, and over here there's a box with all kinds of other waterfalls, radar charts, tag clouds. Yeah, so let's now simply create an analysis, and let's look at how the forecast is doing in different countries. So I select the forecast, I choose a geo chart, for example, or let me pick this one, Global. Yeah, and I can just drag and drop my country, and over here I see that France has quite a very high number of forecasts. So if I tick plus button, or you will see that the analysis that I create are automatically stored below in my working screen, and if I just duplicate it and change it, you will see that I can proceed with my analysis. Now also drag and drop the quarter with it, which gives me a bit more insight. Not only France has the biggest forecast, but apparently it's also in 2011 the second quarter. So if I duplicate that again, and I would, for example, change my chart and use the metrics that I just created. So I could, for example, create a column chart and say, well, I also want to look at budget and actual. I can see that France has a very high forecast compared to his budget and actual, so I might want to drill down. I have a hierarchy created, and over here I can see that France apparently has 2 cities, and Ile-de-France might be one that I like to filter on. And if I now, for example, change my analysis to you will see that the filters build up over here to my forecast and forecast accuracy, and change that to one with 2 y-axis. Yeah, I can see that in Ile-de-France there's apparently a problem with the forecast accuracy with quite a big, let me change this one to delta. A problem with the forecast accuracy and a very big issue with the forecast delta. So for example, if I change this to a tag cloud, I can in a few minutes see that forecast accuracy is caused by this line in the P&L line in the P&L elements. Well, in the end, if I'm ready with all my analysis that I did, so you probably have seen that I very easily can slice and dice through the data using this product, this self-service business intelligence product. What I can do in the end is create my own little dashboard and give it a name. I call it sample for finance, and I just create a page. And what you do is that the analysis, and I've created a few up front, you just drag and drop them to your working area, and let's pick a little radar chart that I created. I can add a little text to the people that I'd like to share it with. And very important, I can any of the data elements that I have available in my data set, I can use those to navigate through the data. So if I make this a little list box, this is how I present the data to my end users. Yeah, so here's my little dashboard built in a few minutes. I can select the controlling areas that I'm interested in, and you will see that it's automatically applied to all graphs. I could also go in another way. If I unselect again, every graph has this little tick box. If I open it and I explore, it goes into detail of the graph, and I can just make a selection, say, well, I want to have a look at this area, for example, and filter it. You will see that that area is filtered. I can update it, and also the other charts on my dashboard are automatically filtered like you see over here. Thank you for your attention.